comeback, man, for your team. It has been the mantra for your team all season long, down 24-0 to come back and win that. What can you say about the resiliency of your football program?
Well, first, let's talk a little bit about the first half, and kind of how bad we played, because
It wasn't good.
it was not good, no, and it's just one of them deals, and I really thought we were ready to play, but then you look back and you're like, we did come off a bye week the week before, which we healed up and we got some guys back healthy, and then it's one of them situations where throughout the week, Monday we weren't able to get on the field because of the weather. Tuesday we got on the field, and then Wednesday we were back in the gym. So we only got to get on the field one time during the week, and we don't have an indoor facility. We don't have where we're ready to go practice at when it does rain. So we were kind of behind the 8 ball, but I thought, we had some good days in the gym, and I really thought we were ready to play. But, give Silicaga a lot of credit, and they got some really good players, like I told you last week, and we turned the ball over early. We throw an interception on the first drive. They take it down, get a short field, and score. And then we go 3 and out, and then number 5, which was a really good player for them, he catches a little hitch route, takes us to the house, and then we come back and throw a pick 6 on the next drive. And I looked up at the clock. I think there were 6 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the first quarter, and we were down 21-0. But to get back to your question, we did panic, and it was a struggle for us in the first half offensively, where we were able to pick up some first downs, get the chains moving, get some drives going. But again, kind of like what we did against Lee Scott, we had a lot of bust, a lot of uncharacteristic things we were doing as far as guys just kind of busting plays, busting concepts, running the wrong stuff. So it's one of them deals where we had to get it back going. I credit our defense a lot in the second quarter. It was kind of more or less, there wasn't a whole lot going on, but they did get a drive going right before the half, and our defense, holds them out of the end zone to 3 points to keep it 24-0 and keep it a 3-score lead. And then, we were able to get into the locker room, and, a lot of people say, and I've heard this several times from people, y'all made a great halftime adjustment, so y'all did all this. No, we didn't. We just really didn't play good in the first half. I really didn't coach good, and I told the players that. It's all of us together. So, the message at halftime was, not so much about us coming back and winning the game, but more or less us coming out and playing with pride and class and character. And, I credit our kids, and we came out the locker room, and we get a turnover, and then we take the ball all the way down inside the 5-yard line, get a penalty on 4th and goal where we score, end up stalling out. They actually drove the next drive down, and we were able to hold them out again. And then, Nate breaks one out about 50 yards. We go for 2, we get it, we cut it 24-8, and I think everybody just kind of simmered down a little bit. And that was the plan at halftime is, guys, let's get a stop. It's a 3-score game. We already kind of got all of our 2-point plays together. We knew what we was going to do, and I told the guys, as soon as we score, we're going for 2. We got to score 3 times, get 3 2-point conversions, and the game will be tied. And if we can figure out how to make that happen, which we did, see how they react. And it was just one of them deals where I can't think, or not think, but say, Clay Sauerwein, our kickoff guy, just, my goodness, man, he made some really, really good kicks. And, we wasn't really trying to onside kick the ball. It was just more of us kind of squibbing the ball like we do, trying to keep it away from number 5. And he hit some really good kicks in some areas where they was in no man's land and hit off a couple guys at times. We were able to get on the ball. So I think we ended up getting 3 of those there in the fourth quarter. And then, what was it, 24-8. And then we sneak out. Nate makes another good run to make it 24-16. KP catch the 2-point play. And then Trey was able to come in and get some really good runs for us and kind of get his feet back wet. And I think he scored a touchdown to tie it up. Cal ran a little reverse for the 2-point conversion. So, a crazy thing is, Thrift, we're sitting there and we get the ball in the third quarter with 2 minutes and 32 seconds to go. With 9 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, it goes from 24-0 to 24-24. Unbelievable. So, again, just credit our guys, credit our staff, credit everybody. And then, we really could have folded tent too is when we tied up, they take it right back down, which I thought we had an interception. They throw a ball over the middle. Tyler Clare to Asher Long's there. The guy catches it. They hit him. Ball pops up, pops out. We recover it. They call incomplete pass. Well, anyways, they end up going down and scoring, making it 31-24. We took the next possession right down, tied it up, and then got another squib kick. And then, Trey was able to punch it in, go up 38-31. And then Jace McMillan made the game-saving play at the end. It's 4th and goal from about the 8-yard line, and they throw a ball in the end zone, and he comes off his guy and deflects the ball, and just a great ending for us, man. Just to be honest with you.
Unbelievable game.
Yes.
Unbelievable way to end this season. 8-2 regular season-wise, Coach, and now you kind of put a bow on it. How about Trey Clarity coming in at over 100 yards rushing? What can you say about him? Finally getting on the field, finally getting back healthy, and adds a new dynamic, a new dimension to your already lethal offense.
Yeah, I mean, I think he did a very good job of just coming in. We brought him in. That was the plan anyway. We were going to bring him in the first half because I do believe in having 2 quarterbacks ready. I do believe in that kind of stuff, especially when you got both of them guys that can be productive and help us. So the plan was going in no matter what. We was going to play him in the first half, get him a drive, try to get him back going, get his feet back wet because he hadn't played since Valley. And he went out in the first half and got the drive. Obviously, the bullets were flying a little bit for him, so it took him some time, to kind of get back in there in the second half and really start seeing the stuff. But, Jalen just, at times he played well, at times he didn't play well, and we just decided in the fourth quarter we was going to go with Trey and just really try to jump in kind of our 2 tight sets, our slot, what we call our slot personnel package. And, we had some things off the run game with the quarterback run, and he was able to get out there and move the chains, and him and Nate back there together made some plays. And, I can't say enough, though, about Trey getting back, getting his feet wet. But, moving forward, and I've been asked this several times, I sat down and met with Trey and Jalen yesterday. Our football team's not fixing to be divided at the quarterback position.
No,
okay?
no.
And I've sat here, and I've been at other schools where I've played 3 quarterbacks before, So playing 2 quarterbacks is I'm very accustomed to. Coach Webb was a part of that. When he played for me, and he's seen it, at a school where he's seen, and he was a part of that kind of stuff at college too. So both of those guys we've got to have to win, and both of those guys kind of complement each other. You got one that's really a good athlete that runs the ball really well. You got the other one that really throws the ball and can facilitate the offense really well. So that's what I really set them down yesterday and talked to them. It's a team thing right now. It's a week to week season. And we got to have both of them because you just don't never know defensively what we're going to face. It may be a game where we got to throw the ball 30 times, or we got to roll our sleeves up like we did in the second half of the night, where we got to take the air out the ball and just try to run the ball to win the game.
Right.
Exactly.
No doubt about it, man. And so now, as you head into the postseason, remember what we said last year? You played your best game against Sylacauga, and it didn't really matter.
Yep.
Now here, you kind of took some air out of what you've been playing really good football in that first half. So how's your mindset now heading into the playoffs? When it really, I guess the grand scheme thing, what I'm trying to say, Coach, it really doesn't matter what you do the last week of the season for this to come up.
It's kind of and I walked off the practice field today and I was talking to Coach McConnell, and you just don't really know right now. We go into that open to half, and like I told the team at halftime, that's probably the worst half of football that I've seen us play since I've been at Glenwood. And, we just didn't have it. And it happens in football. You play a 10-game schedule, you're going to have some bad halves, and we didn't have a good half. We wasn't very productive on offense at all. We didn't block very well. We didn't play good at quarterback. We didn't play good at running back. We didn't play good at receiver. We didn't play good on defense either. We didn't tackle very well. So, we had a lot of combination of bad football.
Yeah.
But the most excited and why I'm always so proud, and I love our guys and proud to be their head coach, is we got a bunch of fighters. Yeah. And we got a bunch of guys that's got high character, and that's what I did at halftime was I challenged their character because that ain't who we are. That's not what our program is about. You're going to lose ball games. That's going to happen.
Right.
But when you don't fight for your school, and you don't fight for your program, and you don't play with the character in the class that you got and the dignity that we're a part of, that's what I question. And that's what, I was more worried about. But then to see them come out in the second half and kind of just flip the whole script, I'm hoping we can have the momentum from that second half going into the playoffs. But that's where right now, as a coach, it's just so much of an emotional high and low because we're starting a new season. Everybody's 0-0. It doesn't matter if I told the kids, it don't matter if you're an undefeated 1 seed, what we were last year, or you're a 504 seed. Everybody's got the same record right now. Everybody has a clean slate, and everybody has a chance to go out here and win on Friday night because that's all that matters is who's going to play their best football for 48 minutes on November 7th. Yeah. And we were on the wrong side of that last year. We were the 1 seed. We were undefeated. But I read a stat today in high school football in the state of Alabama. Every year, I think for the last 20 years, there has been a minimum of 6 number 1 seeds go down. Last year there was 9, but a minimum. So that's classifications 1 through 7.
Jeez.
There's going to be at least 6 number 1s that go down. So we're a number 1 seed. So we got to try to prevent that from happening to us back-to-back years. So, it's all about preparation. And that's what I tell our kids, what I tell our staff. We brought our kids in yesterday on Sunday to start intro in Thomasville. So try to put the work in that. We're increasing the walkthroughs. We're increasing the film time. And just trying to do everything we can from a mental standpoint, from a physical standpoint, to be ready when they come in here, on Friday night.
And we're going to talk about that upcoming Friday night football game that is happening at 8 o'clock. The Swamp, Thomasville is the opponent. We'll talk about that right after this quick moment. It's the Glenwood Coaches Show live from Mike and Ed's Barbecue on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Welcome back, everyone. Glenwood Coaches Show with Brian Nelson. And the Gators, number 1 seed, are going to host Thomasville. Comes in 6-4, the number 4 seed in Region 3 of the 3A classification. They lost some games early on in the season. They are on a 3-game winning streak right now, so they're playing their best ball at the end of the year. What do you know about Thomasville? What's preparation like for them?
I know a lot about them because I think ever since I woke up Saturday morning, I've been kind of doing everything I can to dial in and give our team a chance, and our coaches have done the same thing. So I do want to say shout out before I say anything else to Miles to Go, Sean Ward over there, coming in yesterday to feed our coaches a great Sunday lunch.
Nice.
It was I know we're at Mike and Ed's, and I love Chase, and he does so much for us. But I do want to shout out Sean and tell him thank you so much for Miles to Go over there in Columbus off Bradley Park, and for great food. But just coaches, we came in yesterday, early, and trying to get a game plan together. Like I said, I've been watching them, and getting information as much as I can since Saturday morning. And just a rich tradition over there.
They win.
They do, and they're on the west side of the state. They play really good football over there. They've had some dominant teams. I think the Glenwood faithful will know a little bit about this team because we played them in the second round of the playoffs in baseball last year. And I think if you went to that game and you just walked up and you just looked at them, your mouth would hit the floor because athletically they were some of the best athletes you'll see on the baseball field. So all those guys, kind of all of our guys that play football, most of them are baseball players. They're kind of the opposite.
Right.
They got football players out there playing baseball.
Right.
So, but they got some tremendous athletes. They're big, they're physical. Their center's probably 6'4", probably 315 pounds. Kind of reminds you of our big left tackle, AC. Just a big dude. 71's another interior guy they got plays guard, another big dude. Running back 26 is very quick, electrifying type kid. Number 10, big bruising fullback. We're going to see them kind of playing in the phone booth. It's going to be a lot of tight end wing stuff,
Right.
a lot of wing tee. Quarterback does a good job of managing it, runs it a little bit, is able to throw the naked, throw the ball a little bit, and be high percentage throws and get them out of some bad situations at times. So we're going to have our hands full, and we got to play really good. But I told the team this today. This is the one thing that if we didn't learn anything from last year, that in the playoffs everybody's good.
Everybody.
So it doesn't matter, like I just said a while ago, what your record is, what your ranking is, what your seed is. They're going to come in here. They're going to give their best game, and they've played some really good teams this year, and they've beat some really good teams. So, Southside Selma right now is supposedly one of the top 2 to 3 teams in the whole state of Alabama. Well, it's a 22-15 game with them, and Southside Selma's got 2 receivers that are Power 4, undefeated 10-0, and they're really good. So this team was able to hold them to 22 points, which ain't nobody else that they've played, I think, held them under 40. So it's just one of these deals where we got to play, and but what else do you expect going into the playoffs? The good thing about it is we're the region champs. We're playing at home, so we're going to be able to have that kind of in our back pocket. They got to make the 3-hour trip, and kind of like we did last week. It ain't always fun to have to do that. It ain't always easy either, especially in high school. So, hopefully that does play into our favor, but we got to get back to playing the kind of ball we were playing, 2 weeks ago. Lee Scott, Dadeville, up until then. And that's kind of the biggest challenge for us right now is can we repeat the second half, kind of what we did against Sylacauga, and figure out how not to play that first half. But a lot of respect for them.
Yeah, so I got to ask this question, and you can say it's the same. Call me media, and I know you hate the media, so you can beat me up.
I love the media.
So I want you to beat me up right now. But, Coach, everyone's thinking, how do you have what happened last year not happen this year? That's a tough question. So how do you make sure that don't creep in your kids' mindset? What are you doing and your coaching staff doing to make sure that, hey, we go out there and play the best that we can play?
Well, the one thing about the playoffs is you can't play uptight.
Right.
You can't coach uptight.
They can't.
And so, we got to go out there and do what we done from Sunday to Thursday and prepare just like we do every single week. And we got to go play on Friday, and we got to live with the results.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw, we got to be able to live with the results. So, I don't kind of look at it as, how not to repeat what we did last year.
Right.
More as, hey, let's do, and I told our coaches this on Sunday, if we do everything we can as a staff and our players do everything we can in this building and we come up short, that's all we can do.
We can live with that.
We can live with that. But if we sit here like we did last year and we got some things going on that ain't right, we got finger point, we got stuff like that, and we go out here and we don't play our best game, that's where you question yourself as a coach. That's where you question yourself as a player.
No doubt.
That's where you question your building. So that right there is, number one factor for me is eliminating the distractions. And I think last year, not going to talk publicly about anything like that, but we had some distractions in our building. And I really think our team last year, we really thought we were untouchable.
Yeah.
And you go in there sometimes, you hadn't been knocked off, we're 9-0. And then the thing that happened to us, we come out, storm out of the gates,
Punch
we go
him in the
up
mouth.
34-14, and then it was just like we relaxed. And then we relaxed, and you look up in the fourth quarter, and we turn the ball over 3 or 4 times in the fourth quarter. We get a pump block, and then we end up getting beat 46-42, and it was devastating. So, I think the biggest thing for us is, anytime you're playing big ball games is, we're going to have to get the feel for the game, how it's going. But ultimately, we can't give them the ball. We can't turn the football over. We got to be as sound as we possibly can on special teams, and we have got to stop the run this week. That is ultimately the 3 things we got to do to win the football game. But this is playoff football. This is fun, and that's what I'm trying to explain to the kids. We can't go out here and be fearful about anything. We got to turn it loose because, I think last year, I got asked that question today. Well, Coach, how do you get over the hump? I said, well, over the hump? We've only played in 1 playoff game. If we had lost 5 or 6 in a row, then you're getting over the hump. We've only been in this league 2 years.
And you're 17-2, by the way, in 2 years.
And we lost last year, so it ain't about getting over a hump. It's about us doing what we got to do to figure out how to win 1 playoff game, be 1-0, and get to the second round. So I'm just hoping this team's different. I'm hoping this team is going to take the week seriously and really figure out and understand that, what I do from Sunday to Thursday to prepare me for Friday night is what matters.
All right, so at the Swamp, we want it to be packed.
It's
We
got
want
to
it to
be.
be an electric atmosphere. You got one of the
Look,
best.
we gave everybody off last week for trick or
That's
treat
what I'm
Halloween.
saying.
Okay.
So
Now I will
now-
say we had a great crowd. So I'm very thankful
for it's Glenwood. Still,
yeah,
man.
so I'm very thankful for the people that traveled to Silicaga last week. I do want to say that.
But this week,
it's at home.
This is your time right now.
There's no excuse. I mean, there's no excuse. There's no Halloween. Obviously, I think we do have another game in the city, and their fans will go see them. But our fans are coming over here to see us. There's no reason. First round of playoffs.
Gators.
There's nothing else going on.
None.
But you got to come support the program. You got to come support us, and we need them. And I really thought our fans got into it in the fourth quarter for us the other night, and it energized our sideline.
Nice.
And so we've got to show up, and there's no doubt these kids have worked tremendous hard. I mean, look, we're 8-2. Last year, what did you say? We're 17-2.
17-2.
I mean, we won 12 straight region games. I mean, come support us.
Come on now.
I mean, we the best ticket, so come see us, and I just hope our kids can enjoy the moment first and foremost because they deserve it. We've played our way into these type of games, but the next thing is just find a way to win the game. Find a way to win the game by 1 point and survive. And it's like I tell the coaches, I tell the kids, the old saying is, I want to see you on Sunday, man. If we keep seeing each other on Sunday, that means we keep winning.
26-3 in the last 3 seasons. That's what this guy's record is. And he has been turning this program, and we've talked about this over and over again. And I said on the show on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, it's the consistency part, Coach. That's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
It's easy to have a one-hit wonder. It's easy to have every 4 or 5 years. You're going to have that class that's got some great athletes. Yeah. But to do it year in and year out, especially in this new league, I know you're excited about it. I know you're ready to take on this challenge. And the mindset when it comes to offensively, I do want to ask final question, Coach.
Yep.
Are we going to see a little bit of both Stanley and Clarity, and you're going to utilize them as best way you can?
And I told both of them yesterday when we sat down and met, we don't have a starter. I'm going to tell everybody, we have co-starters right now. We got 2 starters at that position right now, and that's how it'll be moving forward. Who takes the first snap of the game? I don't know. It may change week to week. It doesn't matter. But we're going to have to utilize both their strengths because, they do pose different, things to the defense. Like I said, when one of them's in there, you got to be able to stop this, and this. When the other one's in there, you got to be able to stop this, and this. So that's the one thing. And I was able, back in my younger days in 2018 and 2017, when I coached at Central, we had 2 guys named Tucker Melton and Peter Parrish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Athlete and a thrower.
Exactly. And both of those guys went on to play college football. But it was a sense where, everybody in this day and age is like, well, you can't play 2 quarterbacks because it means you ain't got one. Well, when you got 2 guys that can do it, you can play 2 of them. But it presents a whole different angle to a defense because they got to prepare because they don't know what we're going to do. And if they don't prepare for one guy and they prepare for the other one, then, obviously they could be in trouble. So we just got to make sure whoever's out there, they take command of the offense.
Yep.
We don't turn the football over with, and we got to play to their strengths.
Well, Coach, cannot wait. It's 8 o'clock, and we are going to be streaming it. Unfortunately, it will not be on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, but it will be produced by Georgia Alabama Sports Live on the NFHS network. That's how you're going to be able to watch it.
I do want to say this before we get off. Tickets are $12.
Yep.
There's no pass outs, that work out except for coaching cards.
You have to pay.
You have to pay. There is GoFan, so you can pay with credit cards, pay with cash. But unfortunately, in the playoffs, they don't allow you to use any kind of pass or anything like that unless you got a coach's pass. So, save your money up this week. Don't go eat that big lunch Thursday and Wednesday, or save it up. It's $12.
$3 every day.
There you go.
There you go. You got $12 on Friday.
There you go. So, but we got to have the fans, and it's supposed to be a beautiful night. The weather's not supposed to be bad or cold or anything like that. We just need the swamp rocking, just like I know it will be. And I believe in our fans. I believe in our kids, and I believe in our schools. So I know it'll be a great environment for these kids in the playoffs. And like I said, hope we can find a way to win.
Gators and the Tigers battling it out this Friday night in the first round of the AHSA 3A playoffs. Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you, Thrift.
Hopefully we'll be back here next week for another edition of the Glenwood Coach Show here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We'll see you next time.